Hi everybody and welcome to the End Channel video blog. And today what I want to do is go over my electrician's tool bag. Now it's been a year since I've uploaded the original video of my electrician's tool bag, and I've received a lot of new tools. So I just want to show you guys the updates of what I've been doing here. So let's get right into it and see what's inside. Now the first place I want to start off with is the bag itself. Now this is the Vito Pro Pack, and as you can see, it really allows you to keep your tools organized. It's a really great product. I'm really fond of this. But let's tear this down and see what's inside. So as you can see, there's a lot in storage in just one side of the tool bag. And now this is more commonly used side, because it's got the testers and most of the stuff I need to access panels. Now the first thing I'm going to point out is my Fluke 233. I'm a huge fan of this multimeter. It's got a wireless display and allows you to take measurements outside of the panel. So it's a really safe operating tool. One of my greatest tools I use on a day-to-day basis, and I just really am fond of that wireless screen. It just really accentuates the ability of your tools as well as just the overall safety. Next is the DC-AC current clamp. Now this works with your multimeter, but I'm really fond of this once again because it's a very fast, safe, and it really extends the operating range of your multimeter. I can get up to 400 amps, so really once again diversifies the ability of what my multimeter is capable of doing. Now the next electrical tester I have is an infrared gun. And now this tool right here is the debate ender. Anytime I'm having a debate with someone about a mechanical or electrical problems, you can pretty well walk up to an object, shine this on a bearing, and prove them wrong, saying that, yeah, it is the bearing failing, not an electrical system. I mean, in reality, control systems never change. So it's a very quick debate ender, and that's what I call it. You just walk up, shine, and you're pretty well done. Now, this one's huge for safety, although it doesn't work everywhere, is my non-voltage contact tester. And the thing why it doesn't work everywhere, there's a lot of armored cables, obviously, in an industrial setting. So this is going to lack hugely. But it's still an awesome tool once you're inside a panel to verify that there is no power to it. Now the next tools I have are my Allen key sets. Both metric and imperial, because I live in North America and European stuff usually requires metric as well as Canadian design. And then the imperial is just for that standard American engineering. Next are my wrenches, and these are ratcheting wrenches, and I think this is a pretty clever idea. I threw them on a carabiner, which just organizes them in size, really fast and convenient. Of course, paint scraper, it's a really basic tool, but never ends in how handy it is. Then I got some of my finesse tools, which are my needle nose pliers. Both these are Klein, huge Klein fan, and I really like the little guy. This is a very slim profile and allows you to access stuff that's really fine and requires the finesse work of any type of electronics. Really depend on that tool on a day-to-day basis. Next, I have an array of wire strippers. Now these are a really weird style, but I find when you're working inside a panel, these really shine out. And why I say that is because you're allowed to strip a wire going this way. With traditional wire strippers, you have to go this way, and sometimes you just don't have the way to get in there. And that's why I'm really digging these NWS plier style wire strippers. Really great tool, just the only problem is it requires a lot of time to set them up. Then I have my regular wire strippers. Now the Milwaukee's I really like because they have a reamer built into them, and they're built more like a pair of pliers, so they're forged. Really enduring product I rely on a lot. But the reamers on these really stand out every time. Especially with that conduit or just working inside a panel box, you can't overlook those abilities. Next I just got some typical Klein wire strippers, nothing too special. Now the next tool I got here is my folding utility knife. It's just a cold bolt, but I really dig that fast, convenient way to change over a blade. Really fast, convenient tool. Next tool I got are the combination lineman's pliers with ergonomic grip by NWS. Now these are awesome when you're working on a panel because it allows you just to access those really awkward points with a lot of comfort. Really dig this style, really well worth the money, great tool. Next is probably the ultimate tool I own, and this is the Install Pliers by Knipex. And this tool is awesome. Cable shearers, wire strippers, reamers. It acts like a needle nose plier but still has the function of a combination plier with round and flat stock abilities as well as a smooth profile and the built-in reamers. This is definitely a tool that I'm always carrying in my pocket with a couple screwdrivers. It can handle about 80% of my workload and it's just extremely convenient and lightweight. Can't get enough of it. Now I got my basic set of insulated screwdrivers. Now these are manufactured by Wera, and for me the price to quality issue on these is amazing. You don't spend a lot, but you get a lot of tool for what you're paying. And it's just 2 Phillips, 2 Standards, and 2 Robinson, but these are the screwdrivers I use on a day-to-day basis. Because they are so cheap, you can replace them if they ever get damaged on the heads, and I just really like the ergonomic taper to them. Really are comfortable to work with in comparison to, let's just say, your traditional Klein. Now the next thing I got here is just a bit set by DeWalt. just a convenient thing to have, and I really like the organization of this. It just really fits in well, and when you're done using all these bits, if you just keep these containers, they're great for extra storage of any type of article. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot inside my Vito Pro Pack. Definitely got some weight to it. But as you can see, this is more the install job side. When you're doing the roughing work, like installing the conduit and stuff like that, because these are the more industrious tools, such as, you know, the hammers, the big adjustable wrenches, the pump pliers, all that stuff. So let's go into a little bit more of the details of what's actually inside this. Now, on this side of the tool bag, we got my Robinson screwdrivers. Now, this is something that's more used in Canada than anywhere else. It's just because we got a ridiculous patent on it. A really great screwdriver. You can hold the screw upside down. It's definitely incorporated into everything I modify. Next, I got a rip claw hammer. Now, this thing is absolutely useless as an industrial electrician unless you're just pounding up a skid to make like a drilling template or something like that. But overall, I never use this thing. It's just nice to have one in your tool bag in case you ever do need one, because there is no substitute for this tool. Next, I got my nut drivers, and these are the Imperial versions. Then my Phillips screwdrivers. Not a fan of Phillips screws. I always replace them to my Robinson screwdrivers. And then we got a small finesse electronics screwdrivers, and they're insulated. They're manufactured by Mastercraft. Really great quality for your price that you're paying. I picked these up, I think, for about $6 or something like that. Just awesome tools. Then scissors, obviously just great to have a dedicated pair in your tool bag. Then my set of adjustable wrenches. I hate adjustable wrenches because they destroy anything they usually touch. But the problem is they're just way too convenient to overlook. That's why I got 2 pairs, but I rarely resort to them unless I really need to. Then I got a mass array of standard screwdrivers. And as you can tell, you can't have enough of them. They're always great, and there's different styles too. You know, like this one where it's, you know, a through shank. So that way you can really beat on it if you have to remove something, like some shim work or something like that. When you're doing an install, let's just say an industrial motor or something like that. Really great tool to have. And of course they do get used as, you know, pry bars. And I know you shouldn't be using screwdrivers like that, but Klein just has this resilient where you almost can. Next is my telescopic mirror. Now this is great when you're looking behind articles or something like that and just trying to establish what's going on. Really convenient tool to have in your tool bag. Then there's some tweezers if I ever have to place an electronic component on a PCB board in replacement. Once again, just a really awesome tool to have in your tool bag. Now on this side, this is where my heavier pliers are. Right here I got some sheet metal pliers. Just a great tool to have when you're working on panels, or let's just say something like that, you need to make some shims. Really awesome tool to have. Next comes your cable cutters. Now I love these tools because they don't damage like a pair of, let's just say, side cutters. They don't crimp the tool, they keep the integrity of the wire fully intact. Really dig these. Next I got a set of pump pliers. Now these obviously work well in combination to one another, and I got 2 styles. First one I got is the NWS or the Klein version, and you can slide that up into place. Really awesome when you can't fully establish a good connection because you're in an awkward placement. Next are my Cobras by Knipex. Now these are great because they're locking. So sometimes what I'll do is a ladder by a piece of equipment that's integrated on, welded on. I'll just clamp those on and hang my tool bag from them. They really hold up. Great design by Knipex. Then I got these mini bolt cutters by Knipex. These things are unstoppable. They can cut through anything. So anytime you have to remove, you know, let's just say some heavier wire or something like that, some steel, this is definitely a tool I'm resorting to because it just saves your wrist. You don't have to force it a lot. It just really does make the job simpler. If you don't have one of these, I suggest you pick one of them up because they are, once again, unstoppable. Now the next tool I got here are my NWS side cutters, and these are the Fantastico, and these are amazing. What they do is they amplify the amount of force that you're applying to. So there's a lot of mechanical motion on this side and it's reduced over here, so it really does, once again, amplify what you're doing. Great tool, it's unstoppable. The only constriction to it is you can't open up as wide as, let's just say, your traditional pair of side cutters. Then, of course, Klein's linemen. You can't replace them. They are the traditional tool. They are the only tool. They are awesome. Then, of course, I got a flashlight just for, you know, looking in the dark, because being an electrician, that's one thing I can guarantee you, that you will be working in the dark from time to time. It's just the nature of the job. You bring the power. Next, I just got a Klein level. Great for conduit install jobs. Just allows you to clamp on and then establish that. And lastly, I got my metric nut drivers. Now these are the tools I have on the outside pockets of my tool bag. Small standard screwdriver to getting inside panels, a panel key itself, electrical tape, multi-bit screwdriver, and as you notice I didn't have any Torx screwdrivers inside my tool bag, something I really got to invest in. But what this has is a T15 and a T20 Torx, So that allows me to do all the VFD work on, let's just say, Siemens drives and stuff like that. Then I got a micrometer here for the detail work of tapping and drilling and all that stuff. And then just a tape measure for the install jobs once again. One of my locks, some multimeter leads, some disposable blades for my utility knife, and some more precision screwdrivers. Well everybody, that's it for my electrician's tool bag. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the week.